Hi, welcome to the latest Denny Artachi podcast show. Today I want to focus on probably the most underrated superpower there is. I've been talking about calmness and alignment, but I was just reminded how humor is such a great superpower. We've got to laugh at ourselves. If you want a happy life, a peaceful life, one of health, stop taking yourself so seriously like I have for many, many years. And there are so many examples of this. I can remember even sometimes because even though I still play music, I always have my business. And I know in the past when I was successful in sales organizations, I'd kind of have that, do you know who I am attitude? Do you know who I am? And people are like, no, I don't know who you are. Who are you? So it's so hilarious because when we take ourselves too seriously, we act like we're like from another planet and we just landed on Earth. And now these people are just, privileged to be in front of our presence. We have to laugh at ourselves when we take ourselves too seriously. I remember, I'm older, in the 80s, we thought mullets were a great hair design, a great idea. And now we're just hoping that kids and grandkids don't see these photos of mullets. So somebody said, wow, I've got this great hair design. Go out there looking like a gerbil or a hamster with your hair, and women will think it's crazy and great. So the secret weapon of life is having humor to laugh at ourselves because we're so hilarious when we take ourselves too seriously. I remember just recently I went to a coffee line, right? And of course, I'm waiting for 10 minutes and a person in front of me gets there after waiting and they don't know what they want. They have questions. So I had a choice, get angry, right? Or kind of laugh it off and make a comment. And actually, I made that person laugh as well. I went to the supermarket as well a couple of days ago because I was replacing the propane containers and it was, you can't bring that in here. Like I was bringing an explosive. Now the old me would have been like, do you know who I am? Let me speak to the manager. But I thought it was funny the way she looked at me. Something so trivial was taken like so seriously. And when we take things too seriously, we actually make it worse. No one says, oh my God, I didn't realize who you were. My lady Franny, she works at the airport and she tells me these funny stories how someone who's either in government or they have a certain position and they come up and go, hey, I'm so-and-so, so can we get preferential boarding early on a plane? And she's always like, yeah, no. And they get angry and walk away. She kind of thinks it's funny because they're taking themselves, seriously. I want to remind everyone, because in this journey of mine, I've been laughing a lot more. I used to take myself so seriously. I've had so many embarrassing moments in my life, whether I was just acting silly or I drank too much or I wasn't prepared for a presentation or one thing that happened recently that I knew, oh my God, you really have turned a page on how you used to be. I was playing at a club. And imagine this, I'm playing a solo to one of my favorite songs. It's a great blues song by Gary Moore, Still Got the Blues. And this guy comes up to me right on stage, like not casual. He got right in front of me and went, hey man, do you know any Phil Collins music? This is in the middle of my solo. So I'm like, no man, I don't. I turned around, because maybe he'll get the hint and walk away. The guy walks around me, gets in front of my face again and goes, what about In the Air Tonight? He wouldn't go away. Now I gotta tell you, the old me would have been like, you're really being a pain in the you-know-what. You want the right or the left? So what I did is I actually told the band to stop. I stopped in between the song. Whole place, you could hear a pin drop. Uh-oh. Then he's just about to get ghetto on this guy. So I look at the guy and I smile. And I went, "Hi, sir." I'm saying this in a microphone. You know, I don't know any Phil Collins music. I wish I did. And I promise you, if I did, I would play it for you. I'm going to go back to playing one of my favorite songs, okay? The guy walked away. The whole place cracked up and started cheering. So I diffused what used to be a real stressful situation because I didn't take myself seriously. You know, I used to say, "Hey, I played with all these bands, and how dare you walk on stage?" I don't know. If we can laugh at many other things, our health will improve. People will feel comfortable around us. You'll love life better because I'm telling you, we are some funny people when we take ourselves seriously. The clothes we wear, the things we say, the situations we put ourselves in. You know, they say that everything happens for a reason. Well, sometimes the reason is we're stupid and we make, stupid decisions. That's it. If you can laugh at yourself, you'll have lower blood pressure and you'll live longer. I know that a lot of these people that I've admired that have recently passed on and they live to be 100 years old or more, they all had this same thing. They found life funny. You can either choose to be angry, which, that really gets you far, right? Or you can choose to laugh about stuff. I remember when I ran organizations, and some of my earlier speeches, they weren't that good. And it's so funny because I've been doing videos for a while, but boy, you should have seen the first videos that I did. Oh my God, but they're so hilarious, right? And I would give it to partners. There'd be a running joke because I'm guilty of enthusiasm. And I would always say to the partners, "Hey, I'm working on this," and I send it to them. And I swear, they used to say, "Rock, paper, scissors." Whose turn is it to respond to Artachi? Because he just sent the 10th video, and it's okay. You can't have fear in life also. If you're ready to try something, you'll never start. So get in there, roll up your sleeves, get dirty, find it funny, because you'll progress and you'll able to laugh at yourself to say, "Look at this. I didn't even know what I was doing and it wasn't that good, but I did it anyway and I'm better at it now," right? That's kind of like how you want to be in life. So laughing is a great, great therapeutic way to live. If you can laugh at any situation, you are showing a sign of intelligence because, again, us human beings are pretty funny. I can now laugh at gigs, stages that aren't perfect, business situations, shopping. I mean, it just makes it that much easier. And here's what's going to happen. A lot of people are going to be more calm and around you, and they're going to appreciate your sense of humor. But for yourself, it just makes more sense to live that way because it is a superpower. Laughing, I think comedians are better and bigger role models than I shouldn't say I love many athletes, but they're just as important as leaders. People that can get on stage and make you laugh, most of the time, the best comedians they're talking about real life situations. They say it and you go, "Oh my God, that's me. That's what I do. How do I change that?" So laugh at yourself. I crack myself up pretty much on a daily basis now because it does show a sign of intelligence because taking ourselves too seriously, I don't know. Again, like we're from another planet, Calm helps and works. Humor just makes it more fun. And my God, if we're not having fun, what the hell are we doing in life, right? We've got to have fun. You'll sleep better. You'll live longer. So I just want to say that if you can think back of situations, even disappointments, when you look back, because honestly, I keep saying this over and over again, how many times or how often does life really go exactly the way we planned it to? I can't think of two. One time when I was wrestling in high school and I was conference champion, that was one of the few days in my life where I trained hard, I ate well, I like meditated, I went out, I still shocked myself for the results. I was pleasantly surprised, but it went exactly how I wanted it to. There may be another instance when I was in Iron Butterfly and we were playing a concert right there by in Jersey, Camden, New Jersey, I believe it was. The Philly skyline was in the background, and it was a great show. One of my favorite shows. We played on the same bill with Rare Earth. Badfinger was on there. I think Mitch Ryder. I forget all the bands because remember that was many brain cells ago. And so on this song Butterfly Blue, the band was like, "Listen, we want you to do something different and special. Can you make some sounds?" And I'm like, "Well, what do you want me to do?" So we were. It was an aquarium that we played, and it was an outdoor stadium. There was probably, I don't know, 10, 15,000. And I said, "Well, hey, we're in an aquarium. How about I make some whale sounds?" And they said, "Yeah, that'd be cool." Anyway, long story short, one of the few times where my solo went exactly how I wanted it and I felt it. For everything else, I got to tell you, one of my skill sets, and I love my president of my broker deal always says, you are so tenacious. And another partner says, what I love about you, oh no, he asked me, do you know what I love about you? And I say, no, Glenn, I have no idea what you love about me. So he just laughs and he says, your strength is no matter how many times you get knocked down, you keep getting up. And he's right. I never think about it. I guess as smart as I think I am, I'm just too dumb in some ways to think that I can't do something. And I always say, listen, you maybe have better skills than I, you may be more polished, but you're not going to outwork me. So if it's going to take me to fail 10 times, I'm going to keep going forward. And you have to have a sense of humor to do that. You can't, there's a lot of sales that have happened to me that didn't happen. And I look back and I laugh because I either said something or they said something and it just went into one ear and out the other. And when I look back on it, I laughed. I know that when I ran certain organizations on a retail level, and I was very successful at it, but then there were times that I made some stupid mistakes and fell flat on my face. And I look back now and I laugh at that and I learn from it. There are a lot of musical moments that, I don't know, either I had too much to drink on the cocktail side, or I didn't know the song, and then my turn came up and I laid an egg on stage. So, whatever you do in life, you've got to remember to laugh at yourself and not take yourself so seriously. And again, I think comedians are the superpowers, super heroes out there because they remind us of this. They remind us of how funny and silly we human beings can be so many times when our ego gets the best of us. Or we're afraid to try anything, right? So then we try nothing. Well, I'm not going to decide. Well, actually, you have just decided. You decided to do nothing. And so you're just going to deal with it. So remember, laugh because life is funny. You'll enjoy it more. And I don't know, taking ourselves too seriously is not going to help you sleep at night. It's not going to produce better results. And I know that a lot of people like to laugh together, either at themselves. Don't laugh at other people now. People can be funny, but not everyone is walking the same path. And we just don't know how tough their life is. So when you can laugh and smile, it'll be hard to stay depressed or angry or resentful over a situation that may happen. So remember, stay calm, eat well, do those other things, but humor is an absolute necessity and a superpower if you want to have a good life. All right? So that's my message. And I hope you tune in again to subscribers to the Denny Artachi Show YouTube channel. You can catch it on Apple, Spotify, Amazon. Make it a great day. And don't forget to laugh. Thanks.